In this video, we're going to look at the steps to repair both small and large holes in a plasterboard wall or ceiling. After that, we'll show you how to repair cracks. To repair a small hole of up to 200mm square, you can use a USG Boral Plasterboard Repair patch. They come in two sizes, so choose the size which is larger than the hole you want to fill. You'll also need some total joint finish and a trimming knife. Plus, you'll need a 150mm broad knife or plasterer's trowel, a 150 grit sanding sheet and a hand sander. If you don't already own these tools, USG Boral has a DIY range to choose from. When you're doing any sanding, you'll need to wear a dust mask and some form of eye protection. It's also wise to wear safety gloves when using sharp tools. To start, cut or clear away any loose plasterboard. Take the USG Boral Repair patch and hold it centrally over the hole to work out where you'll be placing it. If the plasterboard is painted, lightly sand around the hole, but only where the repair patch will be applied. Then wipe it clean. Now remove the backing from the repair patch and stick it over the hole. Using the broad knife, apply a thin coat of total joint finish over the patch and surrounding area. Let it dry for 24 hours and then sand it smooth. Apply second and third finishing coats of total joint finish, feathering out from the patch each time to make it less visible. Leave the compound to dry, sanding between each coat. When the third coat is thoroughly dry, sand it lightly to create a smooth finish for painting. To repair a hole larger than 200mm in a wall or ceiling board, you're going to need a piece of plasterboard larger than the size of the hole. You'll also need a couple of timber or steel battens, 100mm longer than the depth of the hole, and some plasterboard screws. To repair the edges of the hole, you'll be using some fiberglass tape and total joint finish. The tools you'll be using include a 150mm broad knife or plasterer's trowel, a 150 grit sandpaper sheet and a hand sander. If you don't already own all these tools, USG Boral has a DIY range to choose from. Finally, you'll also need a trimming knife, a keyhole saw, a pencil and a screwdriver. To repair the hole, you first need to cut out a new piece of plasterboard in a square or rectangle large enough to completely cover the damaged area. Mark its outline on the wall, then punch a hole in each corner of the marked area with a screwdriver. Using the keyhole saw, cut along the outline. Be careful not to hit any plumbing or electrical wiring behind the sheet. Remove the damaged section of plasterboard. Screw the timber battens behind the plasterboard sheet to act as a backing. Make sure you countersink the screws slightly below the board surface so they can be filled later. Position the replacement piece of plasterboard into the hole and screw it to the timber battens. Next, you need to finish your repaired plasterboard so it's ready for painting. Centre the tape over the centre of the join, being careful not to overlap it. Apply a first coat of total joint finish using the broad knife, spreading it over the joins until the tape is lightly covered. Clean the broad knife edge often. Let the compound dry for 24 hours or longer in cool conditions. Then sand it lightly with the hand sander. Apply second and third finishing coats of total joint finish, feathering out from the edge of the patch with a thin coat each time. This makes the repaired area less visible. Leave the compound to dry, then sand it between each coat. When the third coat is thoroughly dry, sand it lightly to create a smooth finish for painting. To repair cracks in plasterboard walls or ceilings, you're going to need some USG Boral patching plaster and total joint finish, a 100mm broad knife, a 150 grit sanding sheet, and a hand sander. Don't forget to wear a mask and eye protection when you're sanding. Ensure the surface to be repaired is clean and dry and free of any loose material. Mix the patching plaster according to the instructions on the packaging. Don't mix more than you can use within half an hour. Using the broad knife, press the patching plaster firmly into the crack. Scrape away excess plaster and allow it to set for 2 to 3 hours, or longer in humid conditions. Once the first coat is set hard, apply a second coat if necessary, tapering beyond the edges of the crack and allow it to dry again. If it's not smooth, lightly sand before applying the finishing coat. Apply a finishing coat of total joint finish with the broad knife, spreading it lightly beyond the edges of the crack. Allow to dry thoroughly for 24 hours, Then sand it lightly to a smooth finish with the hand sander.